Hi everyone, Susie here from Minnesota, and I garden in a zone 4B, and it's the end of July. Just taking you on a tour here. Hydrangeas are just starting to bloom. We got a good amount of rain last night. I can't wait to see how much. So there's a lot of things that are battered down, and that's perfectly fine by me because I would say in May, June, and July, we've gotten probably a total of 2.5 inches. So I can't wait to see what it was a lot of rain. Very happy. I think there were a little bit of winds, but it was just a downpour. But we're supposed to be 100 degrees today. Right now, the dew point is in the 70s. So I'm hoping my camera doesn't overheat here. So I just want to get a tour in. I was hoping before a storm because everything was looking so good, but that's just life. Love this hydrangea. It is absolutely loaded with blooms here. Always the first one to bloom. Little lime is always one of the last ones. It's been going through some struggles. A lot of the plants have been browning up a little bit, but all in all, it's been doing pretty good for the drought we've been in. Lilac has put on a lot of good growth. Very happy to see that. All of these shoots here after the haircut I gave it. My William Baffin climbing rose, I think the left side is doing better because it's shaded a little bit more, whereas the right side has been yellowing and dropping its leaves, but I think it'll be fine. None of my gardens are set up on drip, so it's just, I only water anything new, or right now I am watering trees. Can't believe it's the end of July here. I'm going to show you some containers too. Most of these I started from seed earlier in the season. Walk through a spider web there. The phlox are all starting to bloom. I know this one is David. It smells wonderful. So it is definitely loaded with water. I don't know if you can see that, but oh, that scent. The Oh So Easy rose is starting to put on a lot of new growth and some buds. Veronica's going over, but I still let it do what it wants to do because the pollinators really love this. You can see in here. So yeah, and then I've also been watering my vegetables too, and containers. So I just have to right now water what needs it. I did not get to deadheading this rose, but it is putting on some new growth here. This is a purple pavement rose, that is what it's called. And it smells glorious. Probably the strongest scent rose I have in my gardens. I'll show you. All 4 of these tomatoes are black pineapple. And I mean, look at the size of that fruit in there. Where's another one? I mean, it's just loaded. I mean, look. So the only thing I was really concerned about with the storm coming were my vegetables, because I just didn't want any hail at this point or strong winds so yeah, I'm a little obsessed with my vegetables. This one, I don't know this variety because this was supposed to be Sartre Roulois. I mean, and so you can see the size of this. They're really neat. So I don't know what it's supposed to ripen to, what color it's supposed to turn, but these 2 plants here are Sartre Roulois. And you can see, you know, they do have the purple top and it's supposed to turn yellow, but they're huge. Which is kind of cool to get a stray seed from something, but if I really like it, I don't know what it's called. All these seeds I got from Baker Creek. And then this is All my cherry tomatoes this year are Rosella. I can tell you what an unbelievable cherry tomato. I mean, it's just, look at, it is loaded with fruit, and the flavor is amazing. And it's still, look how tall it's gotten. So this is where I wish my cages were a bit taller for, especially cherry tomatoes. But look at, I mean, they just branch all over the place. Hardy hibiscus, starry, starry night. I love that purple foliage. Budded up. I'm just gonna go to the back here. Tomato plants are offering some shade, but see how big this is. So, can't wait. It's supposed to be purple and yellow, so I'm not seeing it turn yet. Last night I was reinforcing this one because it's so heavy with this fruit right here. It was leaning. So I have it here and then tied over there. Pepper plant is turning yellow. I have not been overwatering it, so I gave it a little bit of fertilizer. We'll see what happens. It's a jalapeno. Oh, let's check the rain gauge here. Oh, I can see it's going to be a good amount. About 2 inches. Holy sweet. It was needed. Like, really needed. Let me just... Alright. I don't like any setting water because of mosquitoes. Another cherry. So I have 3 cherry tomatoes, and like I said, they're all the same. I just had 4 varieties. These 2 in here, this is, it's called orange accordion. I picked one last night because it was ripe, and I didn't, like I said, I was worried about hail, but it's supposed to, I mean, have kind of rippled, and it was huge, so I can't wait to see what that tastes like. But it was a bright orange. Going into some shade here. Like, the rain battered this down, the petunias. I like petunias. I don't love them. These are all from seed. They just tend to look really messy. And like I said, I probably should be trimming on them, but I'm really not that type of gardener. But I just kind of let them do what they want to do. But the artichoke is nice. I love the foliage. I am getting some fruit here. The only thing is I keep squishing that, so that's the only problem. And then that has it, so I probably won't do this again. And again, I don't spray for anything either. I just squish. But that's okay. Hopefully some of the predators will come in and take care of that. Oh, it's so nice to see black soil, like wet. It's just, it's been so long. This is a tomato that has come from my compost bin. I also have one here. I'm leaving it, honestly, because look, it has some fruit on. It's probably going to be a pink ping pong. That's what I had last year. Clematis is looking pretty good, just a little bit battered. Pink mink. So that one's neat. Some dead in here. I'm not surprised. It's been that season again. But again, that being said, it's pulled through rather nicely. Oh, I've got some weeding to do back here. Another day. But this is avant-garde clematis. It's super dainty. It's doing better than what I thought. It just, I mean, this clematis was planted at the same time as this one, and this is Viticella Polish Spirit. You can see this is definitely an aggressive grower. I'm gonna have more blooms. But this one's just a little more, I don't know, delicate. It is pretty though. Oh. The Sun King of Raleigh has put on some good growth. I moved this earlier in the season, so I wasn't expecting a whole lot out of it. I'm not going to focus on the hostas too much because they just look like crap. But tree roots have been my biggest issue. So, huge issue this year. It's like these trees are trying to make a comeback after being taken down. Tiny white 9-barks, I'm loving that foliage. It's kind of hard to see. So this does get morning sun, and it gets all afternoon sun here. You can see it's just starting. I do this like every day. Oh, and then Creeping Charlie. Oh. This is a Juga Fancy Finch. Sorry to be going into sun here. Now, let's see. Look at. I think it's gonna get some flowers. I think this is a coral berry, and it's put on probably 2 feet of growth this year. That is a quick grower. I don't like the little hottie hydrangeas at the moment. The foliage is beautiful, but I have 2 of them, and neither one put on buds this year. And they're panicle, so I don't know what's up with that. It's been a tough season. And then another Sun King here. Honeysuckle is unbelievable. I mean, look at that. This was covered just the other day. I mean, it just keeps blooming. It's like it gets a little bit, like it slows down and then it gets a burst and then it starts blooming again. Gotta love that. Look at that blue sky for once. Otherwise, lately, it's been very hazy and overcast. Annabelle hydrangea has been doing really good, holding up to rain, better than the Incredible. Mulch is still kind of crunchy, which is a sign of how dry it's been. Tiny Wine 9-bark looks good. I will come in and deadhead the blooms on my hostas. I'm leaving the ones that look really good, just to offer a little bit something. But I had an entire wheelbarrow full the other day I was going to show you, but then with rain predicted, I want to get that out so it wasn't sitting in muck. But yeah, it consisted mainly of the tree shoots and hosta spikes. Look at that one. Sorry, mosquitoes are out. There are times I wish I could have someone film me in front so you can see the size of everything. Sometimes on camera that size does not come through. This is doing really good here. This is just an annual mahogany splendor hibiscus. It is a little spiky, jagged, but I really like that. Let's see, best way to go. I have some Lysianthus back here. I'm not doing the best job on staking it up. Actually, no job on it, but it is beautiful. So, but, oh, I have a pink one over here too. Let's see. I'll go around the other side. Beans are finally producing. All of them ended up being climbing beans, so that's going to be a mess. These 3 shrubs back here, these are full speed ahead arborvitae, and I have been watering them a little bit. They're doing pretty good. I usually just water on a once a week and deep. Cucumbers are unbelievable. I know I have a lot to pick in here. I think they had one more day to go, but I'm letting them go all over the place just because I love cucumbers. And this is a Zabrina. Look, it's one plant and it's all over. And then when that gets seeds, I'm gonna go shake it in my cottage garden because I really like that. Oh yeah, I've got some. The tomatoes this year, loving the more sun in this area. Space Master cucumber, I do not suggest. Most of these have been bitter. That could be due to just being dry, and up until this point, lack of humidity, which is weird for my zone. Usually in June is when we start to get really humid. Like I said, dew points are in the 70s today. Yeah, they're ready to pick. I've got a lot. Let's see. Grasses look really good. Just kind of a little bit longer here. Carl Forester. Very happy with the Also Easy double red rose. That seems to be putting out blooms constantly without hardly any fertilizer. Onyx and Pearls Penstemon. I'm just letting it do what it wants to do. I do like the little seed heads. This is just a pom-pom dahlia. I forget the name of it, but it's super cute. And then this hardy hibiscus here is going to be starting soon. I can't wait. Like, look at all the buds on this. I've been watering these once a week also. I don't want to baby them. They just need to get used to that. Really, not one is blooming for you. You gotta love and dislike daylilies. That's Nosferatu, and it looks horrible right now. I'm not the best about deadheading them. I should be. I have a massive zucchini in here. I'm like, it is almost my height. Doesn't that give you that tropical vibe? Like if I was creating a garden and a lot of space, I'd be planting this for that tropical feel. I do have a good amount. I've picked 8 zucchinis so far, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them right now because I've got so much other stuff. So this is the incredible hydrangea back there. The blooms are huge, but it has flopped. This gets a lot of sun, and this will get sun within the next hour until 8 o'clock at night. These daylilies are struggling a little bit, and the stalks are much shorter this year than last year, but isn't that not gorgeous? I don't know the name, but there's a scent to it, and it is a huge bloom, and I love that. So that is one of my favorites. I am liking the foliage on that. It is a honeysuckle Durvilla, but that's the little hottie hydrangea back there, and like I said, not one bud on it. I will leave it for one more year and see what happens. Oh, so easy rose paprika, and just keeps pulling through. The Sabaria sobrifolium has really I better get in there and trim some. I think it'll bounce back up once it dries off. I do like the purple foliage back there, especially with the pink mink. I think those two colors are really nice. All right, let's see. I better talk a little bit faster here. This is, what is it? Blue Hobbit Sea Holly. It is supposed to be that small, so. But look at the Astrantia. I was not expecting, this at this point. I thought maybe closer to fall, but look at that. I had some Gara that self-seeded from a couple years ago that I just leave it. But yeah, I'm really liking this a lot. Everything else is kind of going over in here. The yarrow looks good. A day ago, everything was standing upright. Love this phlox. I just don't know what it's called, but the scent is amazing. I love the tall garden phlox. And then I have some alliums in here. And then back there also. Self-seeded black-eyed Susans. I don't know from where, but you know what? If they're grown in here, I'm leaving them. That's fine. And then a coneflower. Oh, the scent here is just lovely. a wee white hydrangea. I could come in and deadhead and maybe get another bloom, but you know, with the lack of rain we've had, I'm just not doing that with anything this year. I don't want to stress them out trying to get them to flower again, instead of just kind of laying low. This is totally tangerine dahlia. I do have grasshoppers, so I'm thinking that's what's eating it. So it is loaded in buds, but so far it hasn't been a favorite because of something eating it. Whew. Love these gardens right here. This is where I sit. It is a little busy. That's why I do like my shade gardens, but just watching the pollinators. I've seen a few butterflies, just not as many as normal. And over here, this is all the plants I've grown from seed or cuttings. It feels good to be in the shade. So the Texas star hibiscus, what a diva. I'm like, it's dropping its buds. So I've been really bummed by that. I did look it up and it seems really picky about, you know, blooming and trying to bloom. I'm hoping that one comes to something. But our temps have kind of been all over the place. So there's that. Otherwise this gets, you wouldn't think it would be wilting in the sun. I mean, it's native to Texas, so. But that's okay. I just want to see one bloom. Otherwise can you believe I pinched that earlier in the season? So yeah. So looking good. I am not liking the salve here. This is Hummingbird Forest Fire. It's a new one I tried. And it goes in waves of blooms. So it stops blooming, it's done, and then it sends out new foliage and it's sporadic. So I don't always have some color going on. I will not do that one again. I've got some daylilies in containers here, so they are super tall. This is called Oh Honey. That one's gorgeous. I did pick some blooms from that already, and then flowers. This one is called, I don't know if I'm right in the sun, caramel corn, and that one is amazing. I picked one. It gets huge. I just wish I'd have some blooming for you, hoping in another video. Like I said, petunias got battered down by the rain. I'm not even gonna focus too much of those. But I am kind of a low maintenance gardener. That's why I love the petunias in my cottage garden, because they can be messy. I'm sure a lot of you would be trimming them up and making them neat and tidy, but I've been busy elsewhere in my gardens. This is okay. I mean, this is where you plant on the side, so you can definitely see that. Again, I've seen more grasshoppers this year, but it's still blooming really nicely. It's split too. More of the mahogany splendor hibiscus. Looks like it's leaning, but it can lean. I do love this. This is Agastache. Apache Sunset. I serve from seed. Love it. So don't judge me. I just made a little pond here. I had a wheelbarrow that I wasn't using and it just was causing me problems, so I saved the plastic portion of it. It's just enough to be a trial to see if I like it, to see if it's worth it, and if it's more of a headache than what it's worth. So I just have some, what is it, water lettuce, and this is a juncus. And then I do have some sticks in here just in case if something wants to perch on that, and I'm hoping to see some dragonflies. But yeah, like I said, it's just a trial run, and then if I like it next year, I'll do something different. My pagoda dogwood is losing its leaves over here. I've been keeping this water too, but it's pulling through. We'll see what happens next year. The lady's mantle has flopped. I'll probably go in, I don't know, I may or may not trim it, just depending on what I have time for. Coral Bells looks fantastic, putting out new growth there. Love it. this hardy hibiscus has put on a lot of oh, you know what? I might get one. Sweet. I had moved it a little bit, probably too late in the season, so I didn't think it was gonna bud up, but it might. Oh, wait. How cool is that? A hummingbird moth. I was wondering, and you know, they're not shy, so, oh yeah, he's coming right up to me. This is so disappointing because it looked amazing, and then the rain, and I'm gonna say rain, it really poured, but oh well. Oh, some shade, loving it. For the most part, most things are pulling through in this garden. There are some scorching. I'm just loving the shade. This will be sun in the afternoon here, so at least it just kind of has a little bit of a break. I wanted to show you, sorry about the air conditioner. So I did move the caladiums over here. This is Miss Muffet. So I think that looks amazing in that low container. So very happy. And he's back, look at that. Ooh. Can I get under there? I just don't want to, like I said, they're not shy. I don't know what they do, but hey. And that gets more shade, you can tell. But the Brennera looks really good. I'm trying just to do a full tour. I know I'm not mentioning everything, but we would be here forever. And the ivory halo dogwood looks good. Oh my goodness, I shouldn't have come back here to see this. Oh, it was... Hey. Okay. Back here, doing okay. Not a whole lot, a lot of browning. It's just this pine tree sucks up a lot of water. I've been watering this once a week. The pine tree, I don't want that to die, because if that goes, I'll have a huge gap, and I like my privacy. Siberian cypress is doing much better. Again, trees and shrubs, I've been watering once a week. Eventually, this will probably be transitioned into something else. There's still some things looking really good. There are still some, like, look at how, ooh. It gets the afternoon sun and beating off the siding of the house, and it's just a scorcher. You know, it's just, all right. The roses are doing, I'm gonna say okay. This is globe thistle back there. You can see where the sun kind of goes. This is, I just planted this. This is a clematis, it's non-vining. This is Arabella. It is gorgeous. I can't wait to see what it does next year. So the rose that was back here, I thought was Lady Shalott. That's what it was labeled, but it was another Princess Alexandra of Kent. So I do have 3 in here, which works. Something is defoliated. It's those green whatever worms. I have dog hair down here, my dog hair, to prevent the rabbits from munching. Calamintha, purple one, looking great along with the white. Loving the heuchera. It's called Spellbound. But yeah, but understand that this garden has been stressed out this year just because of the lack of rain and just most of this being newly planted. So the stress alone is enough to bring in, you know, the ickies, if you want to call it. This is a bellflower, or sorry, balloon flower, Astra Pink. It's been blooming for a long time. I did take out the ground cover that was in here. I was going to leave it, and then I just wanted to have this entirely redone. That way next year I can just enjoy it. I'll probably, like, okay, this hydrangea right here, I do not know what its issue is. It's not lack of water. Because look. So, they have not made me happy. I've had them for 3 years now, so I've got to rethink that. I might just move this grass here, the Pixie Fauna Tufted Hair Grass, and I've got a number of them, just kind of make a little bit of a drift in there. But yeah, I had so many plants left over from seeds I started, so I just filled it in here. I think it'll be fine. Loving the blue fescue. And then, and this is just an annual here, and that was $1. All the annuals were $1 at the garden center I go to. Okay, oh. And this is Lady Shallot. The scent is amazing. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, look. Ooh. But yeah. So you can see it's, and I don't spray. I'm just, and then I did plant an Annabelle hydrangea here. You can see the blooms are just, are so huge. But this is new, so give it a couple years and it should. At some point I might try and figure out a support for it. Don't know what, but again, it's been so dry, watering once a week. They just have to toughen up. These are panicle hydrangeas. I don't know which one it is because they were cuttings I had taken about 3 years ago. These roses are Sceptered Isle, and they're not amazing, but again, it's their first year in bare root, so I have to come in and deadhead. I don't have anything on this obelisk yet. I'm still debating if I want to put something to climb there or put it elsewhere in my gardens. But this is where I have another Pixie Fauna Tufted Hair Grass, so I can just move it over with those. This is putting out a lot of growth here. This is Princess Alexandra of Kent. I love it. Not the foliage so much, but I'm glad I removed the ground cover, and just so this garden is completely done. And then next year I can see what I like and dislike. Or maybe start some other seeds I want to try in here. Yeah, but the winds always come this way too. So, but look. And then, and I know I've had some aphids too, so yeah, did you see all those eggs? Ew, that was fun. So yeah, I just squish when I can. Got some really nice canes on these. Again, with them just being newly planted this year and just with a really dry season, things are just stressed out. I keep telling myself that. There's always next year. But I really like this garden. And there's 7 o'clock at night. It's gorgeous because the sun, as it's coming through here and lighting it, especially the heuchera with the flower spikes, really like it. Right. Caladiums are doing great here. This one gets a lot more sun, so it's a little bit shorter right now, but as they get bigger and crowd each other, they'll get taller. you can see everything's just kind of flopped over. It will perk up, and then I might come in and dead. But I do like the spent flowers. There's just something about that. And then the Sun King Aurelius here, putting out new growth and actually pulling through. This just glows over here. So then the other thing I'm really pleased about is the black lace elderberry back there has put on a lot of height. And I'm sure I've got some self-seeded sunflowers back there. Kind of want to see them bloom, so I'm leaving that. This I did have some Clusa cucumber. I did just end up going with another Alchemilla mollis and then more of the Chantilly lace goat's beard just to kind of complete it. The hostas were not liking it over here. But look at this caladium. So I would say this gets at least part sun. But look at the size of this leaf. And this is red flash, and these were just started from corms. And again, our nights are, we've had a really beautiful summer with temps. I've had the windows open a lot. So I would say we've had some nights, a lot of nights in the 50s, and they've been pretty good. They're definitely gonna like this heat for sure. Palace Purple Heuchera it's starting to put off some flower spikes in there. The tree looks really good. Again, just kind of keeping up on the water. Hi. And then I've got some blooms here. And then bulbul hydrangeas. They've got such nice neighbors. I've been giving him a lot of my hostas. But yeah, this one's doing really good, and this one's been struggling. I know they're a later bloomer, so they're looking pretty good. I am gonna come in and get rid of the ground cover in here. I have an idea what I want to put here. I just, on this point, I'm just not really liking this here anymore. I may or may not get to that this year. You can see the tree root shoots that I'm dealing with. I mean, look at, there's that. I'm trying to get all the way down, and then back there, it's lots of mosquitoes. These poor containers here are really trimmed up. We had a storm like 2 weeks ago with high winds that just made everything flop. So I came in, trimmed it up, and they'll be fine. They'll bounce back in about a week here. But this is Pinky Swear Caladium. At least that can pull through now. Red flash. And this one's a little bit better. And then look at that leaf size. So this one looks the best. Look at all of the buds on here, all at the bottom, which is kind of, I mean, it's fine. And I'm just letting it trail. So yeah, so that is what everything looks like. Things are just looking, well, the way they should at the end of August, to tell you the truth. Maybe they'll perk up now with just some much needed rain. I have only mowed 4 times in the entire growing season, and that is not to cut the grass, that is to control the tree shoots. I love this in the evening because it's shaded and it's just, I don't know, it just glows. And the Melting Fire Coral Bells, I did start this from seed a few years ago, and this is amazing. Just kind of walking back. And then the sun is gonna be on this garden here, and I feel so sorry for them. Oh, I got a bird down there. So it gets about 4 hours of intense sun and then dappled sun throughout the rest of the day. So it's probably not optimal for the roses, but I'm pretty sure that's kind of what's helping them survive too. what I find amazing is because I've been watering this down here, this conifer, this is putting out all new flower spikes. Is that not amazing? That's spearmint heuchera. I know they rebloom, but the fact that it's like if they have a good amount of water, not like a lot of water, but a good amount, they probably will be blooming throughout the whole season, to tell you the truth, because this too, I'm sure it's kind of getting some water from this tree that I'm watering. I did want to show you one thing, so sorry for backtracking. Oh, I moved this container over here. This was in my rose garden or out front, but I think the rabbits were eating away at this. I had to replace it with a lobularia because they ate the Tahitian bridal veil. And so it wasn't doing good, so I put it over there. This right here. So this is a salvia. I think it's called, what is it called? I know I have the tag somewhere. I just don't want you to see how horrible this container looks. Oops, I'm stepping on my... I think it's called Hummingbird Falls. And that I had purchased from Select Seeds. They were plants. And look at that. Look how, I mean, they're dropping their petals, but it is just loaded in buds. There's 3 plants in here. Look at the size of this. Super excited about that one. They're not, so this container here, I don't fertilize this at all. And the potting mix in here has no fertilizer. And it's doing amazing. And oh, there was a spider that was climbing up there. I don't know if you saw it. And so I know these like less fertilizer, and I like to let it dry out a little bit in between waterings, but I'll show you over here. I have it with the petunias, which the petunias are heavier feeders, and you know, I don't let them dry out because otherwise they look horrible, but you can see they're struggling in this container. The foliage is yellowing and they're just not as wonderful, so that's why it's like probably not the best 2 plants to put together. So yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this longer tour than normal, and hopefully you're not cooking as I am. I am super hot right now. This is a sedum autumn joy. But all in all, everything's been doing really good. I've finally been picking cucumbers. It was slow growing there. I should say growing, because they just weren't producing. But now it's like everything's coming at once. So it's time to go sit back in my chair. I have a fan. I'm going to put that on, and I'm going to just enjoy the rest of this hot day, and then probably water a bit later on, because then another hot day tomorrow, and then after that I think we're supposed to be really nice again. So hopefully you enjoyed, and bye for now.